Welcome to Misled. I'm Lana.
And I'm Kiana.
Today on Misled, we're going to talk about mass incarceration. We're going to talk about how African American men in particular are the majorities in prisons, but the minorities in colleges and universities.
We're going to talk to a young boy. We're going to speak to an ex-offender, and we're also going to speak to a guy who graduated from college.
We're also going to talk to an educator who is dealing with teenagers and young adolescents to see what keeps them in school rather than going towards the streets, and also how we can see how education plays a huge role in the lives of young people.
We're also going to speak to two people that we consider as change agents. We're going to speak to Jess Gregg, who has a life mission that's positively geared to young black men.
We're also going to talk to Michael Miles from People for People, an organization with a mentorship program for former inmates.
Who do you believe? Whose truth do you trust? Question everything. Where do we go from here?
African American juvenile youth have higher rates of incarceration and are more likely to be sent to adult prison.
Like I said, through my high school year, it wasn't like, I felt classes dramatically, and like at the time my older brother on my father's side, but he was in federal lockup for 10 years. So like through like my early memories of him was just like every time I seen him, he's every time getting locked up, or him giving me money or something like that. But my last year of high school, like I had to make up 9 classes on top of my roster to graduate on time, or I would have been graduating with my little brother and sister. And so, I went to night school, day school, early morning school, weekend school, and, even still the teachers had to change some stuff to help me graduate.
Speaking of educators who are heavily invested in their students' success, Zori Stone of Youth Build Philadelphia shares her passion for teaching.
Actually, from on the day that they were accepted, we let them march down Broad Street to kind of parade, that they were going to be coming to Youth Build and just reclaiming their education. So you can see pictures of all us walking down. We even stopped in front of the school district and just kind of yelled a little bit at them. My name is Zori Stone. I'm a youth development professional, and I'm a community project coordinator at Youth Build Philadelphia Charter School.
Do you have any particular students, or have you had any, not naming them, but any experiences with a student in and out of the criminal justice system? Or
here at Youth Build, we will get at least, reality is 1 or 2 students a year who may get arrested during their time here. Or we get students who come in and register for our program and already have criminal justice experiences, including potentially already been incarcerated or on probation, house arrest, and things of that nature. So definitely have experience with helping them navigate what that looks like and helping them kind of get out of the cycle and move past it while still dealing with the consequences of their past actions.
What would you say, if you had to summarize your approach as an educator?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm just relative from the door. I'm not that much older, especially than our students here at Youth Build, but I think also, honestly, the work that I do outside of my 9 to 5 keeps me very relevant and up to date on the social happenings. I'm a DJ. I also go to a lot of events around the city, so staying relevant to them helps me to talk to them about things that they're going through. When they feel like you don't understand, you automatically lose them. So if I could wrap it up in a nutshell, that's it. Just stay relative to them and speak their language.
How do you feel personally, and as an educator, about the public school model?
I think that the public school model, honestly, it's really interesting that you would ask that. The resources that the school district gives schools makes it so hard for them to conduct class and conduct just life in school on a daily basis that it becomes just a push and pull between staff and students all day. And I think that that's the beauty of Youth Build, is that our resources match our students.
In Philadelphia, 23 public schools were closed, while a new $400 million prison complex is under construction.
My name is Jay Fry. I'm 18, and I'm a photographer and videographer.
And what was your childhood like?
My childhood was okay. It was good. My mom was there. My dad was there for a little while, stuff like that. My mom worked hard to give us what we want, so the little struggles, but everything was good.
And do you have any experience? Have you ever been arrested, or
Yes.
can you talk about that?
When I was 15, I believe, yeah. I was 15. I had got arrested for theft, and me and my friend. And I started off on house arrest at first, but it just continued on to 5 years. And within those 5 years of probation, I was in and out, placements on and off house arrest, house detention, and house security. It took 5 years to get off everything.
What do you think? Why do you think you went in that direction?
I just didn't have nobody to like really look up to. I was trying to live life on my own. I thought I was the big man. I could do everything.
And you say you had both parents around. Were they present in your life?
Somewhat. Like my mother has always been present, but my father too. But he just wasn't a father.
Reggie talks about the importance of not having his father around in his life.
It's kind of crazy because I was locked up with my father. Like we shared the same cell. Like it was weird because I had seen him. We in the child hall, and I seen him, and I'm like, yo, that's my pop. And I called him, and he seen me, and he just like started snapping. Like I'm talking about, like, and he's a big dude, like, so they just kind of let him snap and just like let him, and he was just like, that's my, he cursed like, that's my boy over there. And like it was just like everybody's attention was just like, you. And like he had got me moved in a cell with him, and it was just like that's when he tried to play the father role when we was in the cell. And I'm just like, yo, I'm a grown man now, and I got children. I got children of my own on the way. You can't tell me nothing. Like you like a whole 21 years late for that, man.
1 in 9 African American children have a parent in prison. So where's your dad?
Prison.
He's in prison?
Do you go visit him? Yes.
So you go into prison, and then what? What does your dad say to you?
He says he misses me.
And do you miss him?
Yeah,
And when is he coming home again?
in 3 years.
Do you like visiting your dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you get to see him a lot?
Not really.
Would you like to see him more?
Yes.
Statistics show that 1 in 3 African American men will go to prison in their lifetime.
I grew up in a single parent home. I have 2 sisters who lived in the house with me.
What kind of child, teenager were you, if you had to describe yourself?
A mischievous kid, really curious kid. I wasn't bad per se, but I managed to always get into stuff because I just was a curious person.
You said get into stuff. What kind of things did you get into?
Everything, you know what I mean, from good to the bad. You know what I mean, like I was a Boy Scout. I was in a band. I played all kind of sports. You know what I mean, but I was also, you know what I mean, the kid that hopped the fence at the pool at night. You know what I mean, you name it, I did it. If it looked fun, if it looked attractive, I was on it. I've never been in prison per se. I've been arrested as like a juvenile. I went to boot camp, and I guess I've been arrested, but I didn't go to jail. I kind of sat in the holding cell. People came and got me. I probably got my act together around the 10th grade. All my friends went to college. All the guys on my team went to college, and it just was like, you know what, maybe I should go too. Because I wanted to go to the Navy. You know what I mean? I never thought about going to college until it was like, oh, okay, well, if they'll take me, I'll go. And by the time I got there, I was like, all right, well, now I got to finish. Not necessarily school is the way to go, you know what I mean? But a route of, you know what I mean, a route of something positive opposed to, you know what I mean, being in the streets or something, you know what I mean? Because you know what I mean, I have little cousins who aren't exactly, you know what I mean, the most book smart people, you know what I mean? But it's like, if you can be an electrician and make a living for yourself and support your family, or I don't know, if you want to be in the armed services or something like that, college isn't necessarily for everybody. But I do know, you know what I mean, the highs that exist in the streets, they're short-lived. You know what I mean? That there is nobody, you know what I mean, from any gangster movie you wanna think about, any of the old heads who were getting it, you know what I mean, back in the day, you know what I mean? It's a short-lived run, and if your intent in life is to live long and flourish, you know what I mean, you would be better suited, you know what I mean, staying out of negativity, I guess is the best way to put it.
Sadiq realized early on that the glamour of the street life wasn't at all what it was cracked up to be. But Reggie, wanting to imitate his older brother, just couldn't turn away from the lure of the street life.
My brother came home from the feds, and at the time, you know, that was 2004. At the time, you know, Chris and Eve was real big in the city, and like, you know, those was like my older brother young boys, and like he came home, you know, my brother like did his time, didn't snitch, so he came home to like a good situation, and it was like me, I'm a, you know, influenced, you know, oh man, dang, my brother with Chris and Eve, and you know, he bringing me around as my little brother, and hey, damn, what's up, little, you know, so it was like, that's what attracted me to, I didn't, so to speak, I didn't get off the steps until I was about to graduate high school, well, until I graduated high school, and you know, he tried to steer me away from it, like, nah, you ain't gonna do none of that, like, you know, that's where I messed up at, and you know, I remember I had got some weed from, like, to sell weed from this guy, and he caught wind of it, but I was so scary with the weed. Weed is, you know, in account to everything else, weed is not that bad, but I was so scary with that. Like, I had mothballs in the box, and I messed up like a couple $100 worth of weed, and my brother was just like, man, you want to sell drugs, man, like, you was not a drug dealer, man. So, you know, eventually he was just like, if you gonna do stuff, you gonna do it up under my eye. So, like, you know, in a sense, he brought me in there, like, you know, so like I kind of got turned out on that by the money, the females, and you know, and our society, or like how we grow up is like, you know, some people actually think that they're doing you a favor by saying like, I'm gonna put you on, meaning like I'm gonna give you this drug, or I'm gonna give you this connect, and you know, I'm gonna put you on. They in their mind, they're honestly looking out for you. They're doing you a justice by doing that, where in all actuality they're hindering you and putting you in a crazy, messed up situation for your demise. So
Greg Corbin started Philadelphia's youth poetry movement in order to give a voice to the youth.
When young people discover the power of their voice, the world is truly limitless. All right, my name is Greg Corbin. I'm the founder and executive director of the Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement. I'm a teacher, a poet, a motivational speaker, an actor, playwright, an MC from time to time, and yeah, pretty much.
Did you grow up in Philadelphia?
Yes, I did.
And can you tell me about your upbringing?
My upbringing was pretty basic. I had my challenges. I was bullied from time to time. I battled obesity. I was a junk food artist. I was addicted to honey buns and tasty cakes. Little Debbie was my girlfriend, things of that nature. But I also had some tough lessons. I had good parents, both parents in the household, and I had a father that was like, you know, very, very. He found creative ways to educate me. Having that male role model there to teach me what a family was, to teach me what character was, to hold me accountable, to make me responsible for things, from taking out the trash to how to, you know, break up with females the right way. I mean, that created something in me that could never be brought, that can only be taught, you know. So when I see these young men, the anger, the rage, I mean, there's nothing stronger than rage and anger. I've seen kids flip over a desk, and I mean, some of these desks I've seen flipped over, like made out of oak. I mean, huge desks, just because of anger and rage. We're talking about 4th and 5th graders. I've seen what rage can do, and it's painful to watch, and it's painful to know that you can't be there for them when they leave a school, to reinforce the same values when they make the same mistakes, because it takes consistency to help young people embrace discipline that will help them move forward in life in a progressive manner.
From the day that they walk into this building, we're high-fiving them, we're hugging them. It's most of them look at us like, I'm not even interested in any of this. Like, it's almost strange to them. And to me, that's a sad fact for their lives, that you've been here at least 18 years and you've never seen anyone this excited to see you. It's like, I don't know you, so it's all the way strange. And then even after we get to know them, they still walk in like, oh, why are you so hyped? I've been here for 5 months. Like, why are you so hyped to see me? All the staff are so loving and try to stay so like morally neutral that when it comes to encountering a student, like I said, you go back to that choice theory and you just kind of give them the option to accept what you're offering or not. And so when it comes to our environment, students understand that we are authority for the simple fact that we have that position and that we have something that we're trying to offer to them.
The teachers at Youth Build Philadelphia are constantly trying to find ways to relate to their students.
If I was behind bars or even visited a prison, I would be able to relate to these students even more than I do. But it's not like my biggest wish to be behind bars. But I would like to visit a prison so I can see like the conditions the students that I interact with have been under. Because I read a lot about the way prison is, but it goes further than reading if you actually see it.
Before being incarcerated, 2/3 of male inmates were employed and more than half were the primary financial support for their families. Although the statistics of young men in prison are startling, there are programs designed to keep them from returning.
Project Fresh Start is a mentoring program for men ages 18 and up who are returning to Philadelphia from the State Correctional Institution of Chester. And so what we do is we pair them, each mentee up with a mentor. It's like a coach, more or less, right, to kind of help them get back in the game, coming back to society. And that mentor walks alongside them just to really help them with that adjustment. So they meet with me upon their release. Once they contact us, they come to people. We set them up with an action plan, and their mentor holds them accountable to it. And then just as a way to track their progress, every month we meet with them just to go over and just to make sure they're staying on task. And the mentor, again, they coach them through that whole process.
Back to Fresh Start. Mm-hmm. So you said they develop an action plan with the former inmates. Mm-hmm. Can you describe what a typical action plan would be?
Sure. So it's categorized, different categories. So we focus on helping them with their housing, with their employment, any financial burdens they may have, such as court costs, fines, fees, things like that. Which we can, if they do have those things, we can connect them with organizations such as Community Legal Services, which again, they help them, with pardons and, helps them with developing payment plans between them and the court. Just kind of be like a liaison to bring the costs down if it's just unreasonable or not feasible. Another one is their family, if they have any family goals, and as well as their personal goals. So those are some of the categories that we have in our action plan. So we meet with them, we go down each category to see where they are initially, and then to really just goal cast and just really to see what organizations we can connect them to, or what we can do here at People for them if we have the services.
The unspoken stories that are going on in the incarceration system. The most wealthiest place is indeed the cemetery. I truly believe there have been plenty of speakers who have talked about this theory, because in that cemetery are so many untapped ideas, inventions, speeches, poems, paintings, families that could have been created. There's so many things going on in the cemetery. There is a plethora of wealth in that cemetery. And we have to teach them how to live when they're alive, point blank, because some of them are sleeping and they're just waking up and breathing and functioning as flesh-filled robots. We're just trying to make it to the next day, because the difference between survival and living is being aware that you're alive and that you can make anything happen, that your dreams can come true, that as long as you stay focused and you work hard and you stay motivated, you can make anything happen.
I must say, I learned a lot from today's episode.
So much, so did I.
I mean, it's good to see people that they made mistakes in their lives, but they've been able to turn it around, mostly from having positive influence around them. And, you know, just like Sadiq said, college isn't for everybody. We're not saying, you know, everybody go to college. But if you just want to do something positive with your life.
Exactly. And like Reginald said, it's like actions speak louder than words. You can tell your young sibling all day, go to school and read a book. But if you're not doing it yourself, this person that's looking up to you probably won't either.
And both Sadiq and Reggie, they tried the streets and it didn't really work out because we know the street life can be very glamorous and appealing, but honestly, it's short-lived.
It's short-lived.
You know, the statistics. You're either going to end up in jail or dead.
Yeah.
So we just encourage everyone to make the right decision, keep positive people in your life, and sometimes you have to be the positive person for you.
Yeah, and before we go, it was very sad with the young boy Da'u. It was sad. I mean, the interview with him was sad. And I'm so glad he did it. He's very
very intelligent. Yeah. He's bright. It's sad to see a child that's father is in jail and they miss him, but they understand that he can't be there. So, you know, it's just sad to see, and we're sick of seeing kids like that. So,
it's no fun.
You know, if you are able to get an education and you have access to it, which in this country we do have access to it, though limited, just do it. And
so many scholarships out there that we don't know about. People don't know about them because they're not reading about them, but it's so many.
Yes. So we thank you guys for watching, and we hope you tune into the next episode.
Again, I'm Kiana.
I'm Lana.
Bye.
Bye.
Whose truth do you trust?
2. Welcome to Misled. I'm Lana.
And I'm Kiana.
Today on Misled, okay. I didn't feel good about it anyway.
On so many levels, so many black men. Blah, blah, blah. No.
You had it, girl. Just talk to me.
Okay.
So you don't want to see no facial expressions or
No,
nothing?
just look at the camera. And the software.
Uniform ex-offender.
And then
that's so harsh, but I want to say it.
That's recorded.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You're clapping and do.
Who you are and what you do.
All right. My name is Greg Corbin.
Beautiful black man we talked to.
So many colored men.
So much chocolate.
So many.
Find me, show me, guide me inside to right, no real, give light. Brainwashed and afraid, look at the mess we made. That's what they said, you've been misled. Give me a story that's mine, no propaganda and lies. Let me decide how I define.
Black kings and queens, we misled. Hatred and perception. We had to make the connection. Resurrect.